Global finance runs on an invisible nervous system where trade routes centralize around a single hub. If you follow the money, the pathways of international commerce almost always lead back to New York. This unipolar system was the deliberate result of the 1944 Bretton Woods Conference, where world powers established the dollar as the anchor for global stability. The scale of that decision remains staggering. Today, approximately 88. Following the invasion of Ukraine, Western allies froze the sovereign assets of the Russian central bank. The consequences were immediate. A major sovereign nation was cut off from the global financial network, unable to clear payments or access the very reserves it relied on for stability. This chart tracks the decline of the US dollar in global reserves. For 2 decades, central banks have diversified, but notice the acceleration points. From the 2008 financial crisis to recent BRICS initiatives, the trend away from the dollar is gaining speed. These sanctions signaled to the global south that financial sovereignty under the dollar is conditional. For many nations, the trust that once anchored the system has fractured. The immediate political response was a rapid expansion of the BRICS coalition. What began as a group of 5 emerging economies has transformed into a strategic bloc looking for a way out of the dollar's orbit. The bloc has added critical energy and trade hubs to its ranks, including the UAE, Iran, and Saudi Arabia. This group is pursuing a strategy of multi-currency mercantilism, systematically reducing their reliance on a single dominant currency for their vital trade. Nations are now bypassing the dollar using bilateral currency swaps. China, in particular, has aggressively extended swap lines, allowing its partners to settle trade in renminbi. This expanded alliance is building a parallel, sanctions-resistant economic supply chain that operates entirely outside of U.S. jurisdiction. To make this work, the bloc is moving from political rhetoric to technological execution, developing its own systems like BRICS Pay and the BRICS Bridge. These platforms use distributed ledger technology to create a decentralized payment rail. Instead of routing through a centralized system, banks settle transactions directly. By integrating central bank digital currencies, sovereign trade can settle instantly, bypassing Western intermediaries altogether. This technological shift eliminates the single point of failure that gives U.S. sanctions their power. We are watching the structural fragmentation of global liquidity into a 2-tiered system. On one side is the legacy dollar-anchored tier cleared through Western institutions. On the other is an emerging decentralized tier governed by sovereign treaties and local currencies. This data reveals a severe economic vulnerability for the United States. The U.S. imports nearly $650 billion in goods from BRICS nations, while exporting less than half that amount. As these nations migrate their trade to local currencies, the U.S. loses its ability to finance its deficits through global dollar demand. This transition isn't seamless. It faces significant friction from currency volatility and the lack of a single, unified BRICS currency. But the trajectory is set. Weaponized sanctions catalyzed an expansion of alliances, resulting in the engineering of decentralized payment rails. The post-dollar era is a parallel financial architecture being built in real time.